Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today, I will be welcoming back my good friend Toni Hudson, the star of that classic 80s teen movie, Just One of the Guys. And we're going to be talking to her about, she was away like all summer, and I think she was like shooting a movie or a TV show, something akin to that, and I was fascinated by it because she was gone the whole summer. Every day she was posting pictures from what she was doing and stuff, and I'm just really curious to know what it was and stuff. So she's going to be coming on the show talking about that and promoting her upcoming appearance on or at the Hollywood show in Los Angeles. She'll be signing autographs along with another friend of ours from Just One of the Guys, Joyce Heiser, Clayton Roner, and Ari Gross. And so, yeah, she's going to be coming on the show and talking about that as well. And I'm pretty excited. Toni is an absolute sweetheart. I just adore her. And so, yeah, here is my interview with Toni Hudson. Hi, Toni.
Hey.
Hey, welcome back. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Still waiting for the coffee to kick in.
Okay, where are you again?
In Reading.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I got some good news though. At least I got my toenails done today.
Good for you.
Yep, they are blood red.
Good.
Yes. What color do you have?
Pink.
Pink. Nice. Nice. Wow. So you've been away for like the whole summer.
Yes, I have.
Yeah. What'd you do?
Sorry, I just followed down the wrong pipe. Hang on a second. Producing and acting in a movie with my producing partner, Suzanne Taylor, with our company called Jill Frost Films, and called Charlie's Christmas Wish. So I played Jill Frost in a family with John Frost and the son Jimmy Frost, played by my young son Walker Hudson Mintz. And it's a family Christmas dog, very, wonderful family PG movie with a homeless vet theme.
Nice. Nice.
Yep.
Is it like it's like those doggone movies that Jim Wynorski made?
Yeah. I see him as a little bit notched up from that, but yes, in the same genre. It's not so geared towards so young. It's more family rather than just kids,
Right. And where was this at again?
I was shooting in Canton, Georgia, outside of Atlanta.
Nice. And how'd you like it there?
Love it. It's beautiful. It's quaint. It's friendly, and loving that we're telling a story in their town. I mean, we used some neighboring towns as well: Ellijay, Woodstock, a lot of other little cute towns, but Canton was pretty much the main town that we used.
Nice. Did you do a lot of sightseeing there?
Yeah, well, I was there all summer, so yes, we sightseeing and basically just through the shoot, as you move from location to location, that allows you to really, see things in a little more detail because you find out the person who owns this such and such, and then you hear the history of that, and you don't just go in for a moment. You're there for like 3 days shooting, so it was really cool. Yeah, I got to know it really well, and good people.
How was the food there?
Pretty much all American, fried burgers and stuff. But if you hunt well enough or cook your own food, then you're okay. But now once you go into the city, like Atlanta, there's all sorts of wonderful eateries that are natural and more choices. But when you get in the outskirts, there's less choice, or you cook.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure they also got, southern fried cooking, like grits and fried chicken, stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And biscuits and gravy and sausage and all that. All the stuff that Elvis loved.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did anybody recognize you down there?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit. How was that?
It's great. I mean, it's always nice when somebody, when you make an impact on somebody that they remember you for whatever reason. Your voice, the funny line you said, the hairstyle you had, favorite movie they love, whatever it is, the reason that connects you to them, it's a cool thing,
Of course. Did you go? Did you guys do anything like go square dancing?
No, we pretty much focused on the movie, so there was no square dancing in the movie. But, there was a wedding, so there was a wedding reception where there was some dancing.
Mm-hmm. So that was the only dancing you did?
Not pretty much, yeah.
Did you meet any cute guys down there?
No, that's not what I was there for. I wasn't into meeting any cute guys. I was wearing so many hats, Tommy. So first of all, I'm a producer.
Right.
With my partner. I co-wrote the script. It was pretty much her story. I just kind of helped, but it's enough that I could say that I co-wrote. And then I acted in the movie. The dog, Charlie's Christmas Wish, is my dog. So I was the dog handler. I trained her, had to do all the stuff that she did on set. So I had to be her when it was her day on set.
Right.
And I was also the mom to the kid actor, so I had to be the mom on set when he was working. So there was never a day off. If my character wasn't on stage, on set, I was the mom that day, because my son was working, or I was the dog handler, or I was all three, and I'm always the producer. So there was no time to do anything but make a movie, and we did. And now it's in editing with my partner, Suzanne Taylor, and editing place there in the office.
Mm-hmm. The 18-hour days, right?
You can't even, you don't ever stop counting. It just keeps going.
Yeah. Yeah.
When the A camera has a day off, it's like, all right, we're going to take a day off, 6 days on, 1 day off. But we don't, because we're going to go on the day off and shoot some B camera stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's funny because all summer long you're posting all these pictures and stuff, and you look like you're just having the best time.
I really am. I still am, and it definitely has been one of the fastest learning curves I've experienced in my artistic career. But perfect timing, because we have a lot of movies that Joe Frost Films is getting ready to produce.
Mm-hmm.
So this process of learning through just deciding to do it. I mean, the idea for this movie hasn't even been a year ago yet. I'm not saying even a script was written. I'm saying just the idea for the movie was November last year. We haven't hit November yet, and the movie should be coming out in November. So from idea and conception to coming out in 1 year, that's pretty much unheard of.
Yeah.
In Hollywood or anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you know when the movie is going to come out?
Well, our projected goal was set for this November, 11/11/2018, Veterans Day. But since we were delayed 3 weeks, we had to recast our lead actor after shooting 3 weeks of the script. And then we had to reshoot all that with the new actor. It put us behind. So I'm not sure if we'll hit this deadline for this year of 11/11.
Mm-hmm.
It might have to be next year. So I don't know.
Did you guys?
I don't know at this point haven't yet. We're still in the running to get it out for this year. We haven't hit a deadline that we can't cross yet. So fingers crossed, but I don't know that for certain.
Wow, that's amazing that you guys are doing that. You don't have any plans though to take it to like a festival?
Oh, sure, it'll be. I mean, there's got to be premieres in LA and in New York. Obviously, one right there in Canton. I mean, there'll be some promotions. Hopefully, I know Good Morning America already had some interest in getting a story on it because of the homeless vet connection. The Home Depot has partnered with us to give us the materials to build the tiny homes that we give the characters in the movie The Homeless. That's the tiny homes. And then we want to continue the whole campaign of Charlie's Christmas Wish and building tiny homes for homeless vets way past the movie coming out. So it'll be every year, and it'll be, the American Legions and the Moose Lodges and the VFWs. We're all coming together with the Charlie's Christmas Wish campaign to get the homeless vet situation solved. And little Jimmy, my son in the movie, plays a character where he is behind in his math. So the teacher gives him extra credit homework, and he says, here, you solve the homeless vet problem. There's this many homeless vets, there's this many people in the United States, there's this much, da-da-da. So he said, figure out how much everyone would have to pay to solve the problem. So he went to work on it, and so it's even in the movie, we explained that I think it's like $6.87. If everybody paid $6.87, who's 18 and older, have their own job or something, then the homeless vet situation would be solved.
Yeah, I was homeless for almost 4 years up until last year, and so I got some really good closure last week. When I was homeless, I was living in this it was like a commuter home, and a lot of bad stuff happened there. I got my clothes stolen. Last couple of days I was there, I almost got sexually assaulted. I did get physically assaulted a couple times in there, but I found out last week they got busted for human trafficking and weapon possession and all that stuff. And I've been thinking about it all the time since it happened, and just after last week, I've gotten so much closure. I feel so good about it.
Very good. Yeah, no, it's an epidemic on so many levels, from the vets that come back that have, no place to really care for them or to rehabilitate back into society properly. And, and no money to do it or the means to, sustain themselves. So that's just one part of the homeless, Then there's the obvious homeless who sit on the sidewalk with a cardboard sign and a cup. There's that, level of homeless. There's the drug scene homeless.
Right.
And then there's the invisible homeless. I call them the invisible people. Well, they're on the fringe of society. They're not quite on the street cardboard, but they're not. They don't have a place to live. So they're out of their car. They're couch surfing. They're house sitting. It's that in-betweener. There's so many people that are doing that, and a lot of people don't know.
Yeah.
They just don't say anything. They just kind of cover it up. They go to the gym to shower because they can afford the $30 a month to still have that. Now they can shower and exercise. And there's a way to exist on this fringe area if you make a certain amount,
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm actually making a movie right now called The Fringe, based on that whole just a movie focusing on that section,
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, that's why I said I needed 10 more minutes. I was so in the middle of writing, and I needed to, switch my brain.
Right. Yeah, that's great, because I'll tell you, the first year that I was homeless was the toughest. I found out so much, lies and corruption that goes on behind those nonprofit organizations that help the homeless. They're so biased when it comes to the racial aspect of homelessness, and they only want to help people who have children involved and stuff. And it's just...
Well, you know what, Tommy? I don't want to get off into any political, views on that, because what we're trying to do is just shed light on the idea that it doesn't have to be. And it's kind of a simple thing. And putting it into a really lovely Christmas movie,
right,
hopefully comes every year to inspire people. So I think that at a different time, a different tea party would be that conversation. But right now, we'll just focus on what Tony's doing. How's that?
Absolutely. In fact, that actually brings me to my next point. And I mean this sincerely, Toni. Every day, I look forward to seeing what you post on Facebook and Instagram, because you're one of the few people in Hollywood I know who doesn't post anything political or negative. You're always upbeat and positive.
Well, this is where I'm at right now, and this is part of what's going to be in the fringe. Is that my movie that I'm sitting here I'm writing just to end, and I'm on page 90, man. I'm like right there, and this is what I want to do, because a teaching that was written along about more than 100 years ago was referred to me by a wonderful woman by the name of Kelly Rosano. She has a YouTube channel. She does astrology, but it's like she's intuitive astrology too as well.
Yeah.
But I love her no nonsense, uninhibited, abandoned way. She just, shares the information from her point of view, but with an uplifting, tone to it always.
Right.
And so listening to her, and then I got a personal reading with her one time when I could. And it was like a birthday present to myself. And basically, she turned me onto this teaching called The Science of Getting Rich.
Mm-hmm.
The Science of Getting Rich is written over 100 years ago by a man by the name of Wallace Wattles, Wattles.
Right.
And do you know this teaching?
No.
All right, well, The Science of Getting Rich, and it was written over 100 years ago, so the language seems a little antiquated. Not that the words are big, but the way he, structures his sentences is a little old school, right?
Right.
So I had to listen to it. I've listened to it probably 30, 40 times now, because I'm trying to get it into my subconscious. I want it to replace my old habits. I want it to replace my old subconscious of the beliefs about myself and what my possibilities aren't, which is what I would focus on. So I would focus on the negative. So in this teaching of The Science of Getting Rich, it just reaffirms something I already knew, but they say it better, which is, whatever you dwell upon and talk about and magnify shall become.
Mm-hmm.
So if we all sit around talking about how horrible this is, and let me tell you about this, and then did you know I just found out about this, and they were supposed to give us this, and they told a lot, and they lied. And if we keep focusing on everybody who's lying, who's cheating, then we just keep that perpetuated.
Right.
So yes, it doesn't mean we turn a blind eye to it. Yes, okay, there it is, it's happening. The lying, the cheating, the obnoxious behavior, all of that's happening right over there. You take a look at it and go, and then you immediately go, all right, how do we reverse it? How do we solve it? How do we get a solution for it? And you take that action. Now, if that contribution for that day can only be that you put a positive post on Instagram,
mm-hmm.
then that's your contribution for that day. But maybe you put a positive post on Instagram that helped somebody that day who was thinking of behaving and doing something a little differently, and it affected them and made them smile, and it made them remember that they have a smile in their heart,
Mm-hmm.
Or it inspired somebody else to do something nice for somebody, so in other words, what I put out there, I'm trying to perpetuate, and it's the truth of who I am, and it's so that's what I'm focusing on, and that's what I'm sharing, and so I am designing a life right now. So what you see on my Instagram and my social media is truly me being me. And that's the artistic, creative woman that I am. Because in my relationships, I would suppress it somewhat to make them feel comfortable, the men.
Right.
And now that I'm single, I'm truly able to stretch my wings. My kid goes between myself and my ex, so I have a lot lot of time to be creative. And so, yeah, it's full-fledged. So that's why I choose not. I don't want to talk political, and I don't want to talk any of that, or I don't put anybody down either.
Mm-hmm.
Because what does that perpetuate? And why would I put somebody down?
Exactly.
And most of the time, no one knows 100% of the truth what they're using to put someone down with. It's hearsay. It's from a friend of a friend, or you read it in a thing, or you heard it on the radio. So it's not even solid information to be spreading around. And so why would I spend my energy on spreading around somewhat okay, maybe not solid information on someone else when I could be writing a screenplay that is a message that I want to put into society?
Exactly.
Instead. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox. But, yeah, that's why, thank you for noticing. I appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely, and, I just love the pictures you post. I love those videos you do where you're dancing,
Yeah, thank you. It's me. It's truly, I did it because it's silly, and I wanted to be less inhibited about being silly. I said, all right, this is me being silly. This is me being me. Let's see if I can handle people seeing me being me. And it's helped me. It's helped me a lot. Not everybody likes it, but, for the most part, it makes people smile. And it makes me happy, so there you go.
Yeah. What's your secret to not aging?
Well, when I met Dirk Benedict, he turned me on to eating healthy macrobiotic food.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like 38 years ago. So I've been eating that way ever since. And then I raised all three of my kids that way. I went through my pregnancies that way. I breastfed them. I made their baby food. And I have three boys just to prove it. And the macrobiotics and the answer in the Eastern philosophies of what that represents, the balance of yin and yang, and understanding what that means, is also a balance of sodium and potassium, or acid and alkaline, and understanding what those foods are in your body. I mean, notice all the probiotic drinks and foods that have become very popular, the kombuchas and the kimchis, at all those farmers markets and stuff. Well, I've been eating those types of things for 38 years.
Mm-hmm.
There's a tea that's alkaline called Kukicha tea, which is a roasted twig and leaf tea. And miso soup, almost every day for the past 38 years, which is fermented soybeans, aged and fermented, which is where you get the probiotic stuff. So that is really where it comes from, is the Eastern philosophy of food and balance of yin and yang. And I've been doing that now for a long time, and that's really the answer. And knowing that it's my responsibility to handle that part. Once I'm an adult, I can't point my fingers at my parents for my health. Can't point my fingers at anybody else. Past that, it's my responsibility. There's too much information out there online, at the hairdresser, at the salon, in the magazine, from your best friend, at the office, to get this information, to know when you're not doing so good with your choices. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, it's just too silly to turn a blind eye and act like, oh, I don't know what I should be doing, to be healthy. There's too many avenues to find the answer. So, the correct living is, my company that deals with sharing a consciously proactive preventative lifestyle.
Yeah.
And it helps people to understand that you got to make choices now before you're at death's door, before the doctor says, oh, you have such and such, and then now you all of a sudden scramble on to get healthy or try and make changes.
Right.
Because sometimes you're too late. We are too late, And so it's better to live a preventative lifestyle, knowing the better choices ahead of time, and start changing it, and then never even have the issue come up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I did at at 19 years old. So it's been a long time, and that's because of Dirk Benedict. You know, he gave me that gift.
That's amazing.
Basically, you can read it in his book, Confessions of a Kamikaze Cowboy.
Yeah, my mom met him at, he was doing this celebrity baseball game in San Francisco back in the late 80s. She met him and Mark Harmon, Carl Weathers, Tom Berenger. They were all in that game and stuff. And she met them all.
Yeah, that's Dirk. But he's the one who introduced me to eating healthy, and I know. I know that's why I am the way I am. Because if I would have continued eating the way my mother, bless her heart, I adore her, but if I would have continued eating the way she taught me, which is, whatever she fed me created my cravings, as I grew up.
Mm-hmm.
So if I would have continued that, I'd be looking more like my adorable, rotund, plump, 5'2" mother. Instead, at 19, by changing my way of eating, 5 years before I got pregnant for the very first time, I changed every blood cell in my body almost, before I even got pregnant for the first time. So the quality of my egg and then the quality, of course, their sperm, because of his macrobiotics for so long, it was pretty kind of top shelf, meeting of the sperm and egg type situation. And these kids are so amazingly healthy that we created. And we've got a 30-year-old and a 28-year-old together, Kirk and I. But it was the gift that he gave me, So now I've turned into something called Correct Living, and there's a book, and there's a TV show in it all that's being created and developed to help people live a better way, and have better understanding of how to do it.
Yeah. Oh my God! I remember the first time I saw you post a pic where you were in a bikini. I remember back in the 80s, you did an episode of The Love Boat where you were in a bikini, and I noticed, I was like, oh my God, she hasn't changed. She still looks the same,
It's pretty close. I mean, menopause likes to have its, wonders with a woman, but yeah, no, I'm very grateful. That's one of the, besides our two boys, which is the first most beautiful gift that Dirk gave me. But then again, if he hadn't given me the gift of macrobiotics and health through food, then we wouldn't have created the beautiful boys that we created. There would have been different boys. So I think I have to thank the food first, and then the kids second, because, really, 800 numbers telling me, go away, 800 number. Keep beeping, making me annoyed. But yeah, Dirk gave me such a gift with that. And so, yeah, Correct Living is something that will allow me to share it with the masses. So that'll be coming out soon.
Nice.
Yeah.
So next month, you will be signing autographs at the Hollywood show, along with a lot of your Just One of the Guys co-stars, Joyce Heiser, Clayton Rohner, Ari Gross. Are you excited to be reuniting with them?
Oh, yes. I love it. I mean, these are good people, I mean, when we worked together, we were kids, grown-up kids, but kids. And, now we've had such diverse and very rich lives that coming together and really understanding and appreciating this really cool opportunity we had back in the 80s to be a part of this movie, I mean, it's cool to be part of a little cult 80s classic and to know that it's part of our, coming of age artistic experience. It's cool. No, it's cool. And it's just fun. The fans are so fun and they love completing, getting everybody. They write for your poster and they needed that one more person to have everybody. And that's a real cute feeling to see them when they get to complete it. It's nice.
Yeah. I do that with my horror posters and stuff when I go to horror conventions. I'm so sad that I can't make this show. I had to skip 2 horror cons in LA this year because it's been a dark year for me, unfortunately, But I will be at this one horror con in Sacramento next month that Sherilyn Fenn will be at.
Awesome. Well, tell Sherilyn Fenn I said hello.
Oh, I sure will. Yeah, the first time I interviewed Joyce, she told me during that scene where they're in the cave by the fire, and Sherilyn starts tickling her. She says she was tickling her even when the camera wasn't rolling, and that like angered her.
Oh yeah. Cheryl was Sherilyn, man. She's her own person.
Yeah. And oh my God, you're almost coming up on 30 years with Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. Maybe next year and in 2020 you'll get invited to a lot of horror cons.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if they do the 30 years, so yeah.
Yeah, didn't you do one this summer?
Yeah, I did in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm. How was that?
That was great. It was fun. It's always a good time. New Jersey Horror Con is always a good time.
Nice. Yeah, the Hollywood show is going to have a great lineup. Also, the cast of Animal House and American Graffiti, and Deborah Van Valkenburg and Jim J. Bullock from Too Close for Comfort, and John Provost, who played Timmy from Lassie. His wife, Lori Jacobson's a friend of mine. She's been on the show a couple times. That's going to be.
I should look up the website and check it out. Who's coming? I haven't even looked at it.
Oh yeah, there's some big ones, some really good ones. They always do there. I haven't been to one yet, but someday I will and stuff. And many great people and stuff. That's going to be a lot of fun for you and stuff. But yeah, I've had Deborah and Joyce on the show a couple times each. We got along very well, and I was making them just laugh out loud the whole time.
Good.
Especially Joyce. Oh my God, she loved my dirty jokes.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. Especially with the climate these days of everything that's going on.
Yeah.
I just stay away from it. Don't even go there.
Well, what I do is, I never do my stand-up act on the show because I don't want my jokes stolen while I'm not famous, But like I tell like street jokes, that like you either heard or you haven't,
Right.
And stuff like that. That's a good rule of thumb for a lot of comedians out there. If you're not famous, do not do your jokes on your podcast or they will get stolen. But yeah, Toni, I'm so glad you're doing well, and keep at it because I'm your biggest cheerleader, and I thank you so much for coming on again.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having me. I'm glad we could finally, make it connect and get it together.
Yes. Thank you, darling, and have a great day.
All right, you too, Tommy. See you later, man.
See you later. Well, there you have it. Toni Hudson. Ain't she a sweetheart? Thank you so much, Toni. God, you're a strong, fierce woman going out there fighting and slugging and all that fun stuff, and I'm so glad to be a part of your social media life. If you like this video, everyone, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, add me as a friend on Facebook, join my Tommy Kovac comedian page on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and all that fun stuff. Well, that's all the time we have this week on Splat from the Past. Until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying, there's no shame in living in the past, because the present sucks. Later, dudes.